Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, everyone? Hi, guys. What's good, Taro? What's good, Manu? What's good, Jace? Yes, we do. We totally have to talk about this update. We are talking about probably for the next, like, week, month, forever. This update was so good. I'm running a little low on sleep. Running off of, like, essentially, like, 3 hours of sleep. But I'm amped up. Kingdom Hearts is all the adrenaline I need. What's good, Athletic Gamer? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. You can't find the Discord link you want to join. I'd assume you're talking about my Discord, right? Well, my Discord link is always in the descriptions of my videos. But I got you. Nightbot's going to post a message which should have the Discord link for you. So just click the Nightbot message that pops up in the chat, and you should be sent to the Discord. Hi, Starkiller. Yeah, what's good, Ultimate? Hi, Luxuria, if I'm saying your name right. What's with the tongue emoji? Okay. Alright, so I'm debating on how I want to do this. I don't know if I want to pull up cutscenes on KH Insider so I can pause and talk, which is probably the best thing, to be honest. Or if I want to open up the game myself and look at the cutscenes, sort of that way. So we're going to talk about the stuff that might happen in part 2. We're just going to talk about Union Cross, about everything that's been happening. There's a lot. There's a lot to discuss. There's always Verum hype. Always. Okay. I'm going to tweet out the stream, and then we should get started. So give me a moment. But how are you guys doing today? Okay, I think I should be good. I should be good. Alright, so let's go to Catron Cyrus page. Discord's dead. Talk about my Discord? You sure about that? Y'all have been typing like all day. I mean, no one's typed in like 10-20 minutes, but that's just in main chat. I don't know if I call that dead, but you do you. Yo, what's good, Violin? Yes, it's the Prodigy. Is that the Violin Gamer? Alright, so we're about to... Oh, wait, hold on. Violin, I just peeked at your stream earlier. Did you watch the Union Cross up? Did you end up watching it? This thing was crazy. You did? Yo, what do you think? That update was pretty crazy. The only thing dead here is Strelitzia, sorta. Strelitzia is very much here. Alright, let's turn the music off, and we're gonna rewatch these cutscenes for one during the live stream. So I can, like, oh my gosh, my setup's terrible. Hold on, I just misclicked hard. Oh, music's on this tab. Alright, so man, oh man. Okay, so we're going to rewatch these cutscenes a little bit. I'm not, like, we don't have to sit here in silence and watch them or anything, but I wanted to rewatch these cutscenes. I wanted to analyze certain scenes. One cutscene I definitely, we're going to go out of order a little bit. One cutscene I definitely wanted to look at again was this one right here, because this cutscene revealed quite a bit of info. And I just want to look more at it. Does Dada even count as a person being alive? In Kingdom Hearts, apparently? Apparently it does? I mean, we've talked about Dada having hearts for, like, years, to be honest. I mean, remember at the end of Recoded how, like, Dadasaur's Keyblade became real? Which, based off of how Keyblades work, it sort of implies that he has his own sort of, he formed his own sort of heart. So I'm thinking it's the same way that nobodies work, how nobodies are able to form hearts, like, through, you know, performing actions that make up a heart, like, just, I don't know, it's very vague, but, like, things like hanging out with friends, living life, showing that sort of emotion, care, compassion, all those sorts of things that Roxas and Xion kind of showed. That's how they ended up forming their own hearts throughout days. It might be a very, very similar thing when it comes to Dada, so that's the thing. My theory about who used the arcs was correct, but also created more questions for me. I am very curious about what Brain's going to do, because I was not expecting the Brain giving the Master Defender away thing. Actually, we're going to do this a different way, because I'm realizing, like, pausing and having the music be like this is going to be a little annoying. So we're gonna actually open it up. We won't be able to rewind and stuff though, but if we need to, we can always open it up again. But we're gonna actually open it up on BlueStacks on my account and view the cutscenes that way, so I can, like, I don't know, so it just kind of comes across better on stream. This update was insane. This update was absolutely crazy. Like, I've been saying it the past couple of updates, but this is the best Unity Cross update so far. The finale is definitely meeting my expectations. It's definitely meeting my expectations. Yeah, that part where Brand Ephemer blew my mind. No one expected that, because they definitely had us going thinking, okay, well, Brain's the one that wields the Keyblade, so he's probably the one raising Ericus. Now it's like a little bit of a question of, is he? Is it Ephemer now who's raising Ericus? Because there's a lot of weird things going on, man. There's a lot of weird things going on. Let me go to the other layout. There we go. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. But if she comes back, will she be the real one or just a Dada clone? Well, one question would be, would there be that big of a difference in that case, right? That would be a big question there. Another one would be, I guess, like, I'm trying to think. Like, so the question would be, would that even matter? Because her heart is still existing, right? So if there is, like, a Dada copy of her, that must mean the same heart sort of exists. It could be like a weird Terra situation from KH3, because if you look at the lore of KH3, the Terra that technically came back is kind of a time travel Terra, but I don't think they're going to expand upon that too much, because Terra technically probably died when we defeated Xemnas, because his heart, as Xehanort said in the beginning of, at the beginning of Remind, he clarified that Terra's heart was kind of lost during that moment. I did already see the Masters dub from Ray Chase. Yes, yes, yes. I saw that. I saw that like immediately last update. Like I saw that as soon as Ray Chase released it. It was very cool. I liked it a lot. Very, very cool. Now BlueStacks is a little bit laggy, so if there's like moments where the stream like jitters a little bit, that's likely why. Whoa, Violin becoming a member? Hey, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, I have a video of Violin that I'm going to be doing pretty soon. No, I did not see your DM, Noir, but I can probably guess what it is. So let me just call you. Why did my Discord just restart? There we go. All right, so we're going to be doing this with Noir as well. I told him he can join the stream if he wants. Am I going to stream next Sunday on May 9th? That's a pretty long way away. I mean, I probably will, because I stream borderline daily. Like, borderline daily, not, like, completely, because I take, like, 1 day off a week sort of thing, from streaming, but I've been trying to do daily streams, daily uploads. That's been the production of content, but is there a specific, I need to ask you, is there a specific reason you need me to stream on May 9th? Like, is something happening that day?
May 9th. I don't think anything should be happening on that day.
I don't think so. That's a very specific question.
That's very specific.
Oh, it's your birthday. Oh, okay. I mean, probably. I can't make 100% promise, but I'll say it's very, very likely for me to actually wait. No, I gotta think about that again. Oh, hold on. Okay, I will likely get out some type of stream on May 9th, but it might be super late because my dad's like coming back from his long trip. He's in the military and stuff, so he's actually coming back on that weekend. So that actually might be the one weekend I might not be streaming as much. So but we'll see. I usually always make time for those sorts of things. All right, so what cutscene do you guys want to look at first? I want to look at the Lucio cutscene, but is there anything specific you guys wanted to talk about? And what's good, Orpheus Joshua? How's it going? And the person,
I know I definitely want to look at the cutscene where the 4 of them go into the life pods.
Yeah,
I definitely want to see that.
I gotta remember the names of them. Okay, backup. So it's probably backup data is the first cutscene, then onwards. Okay. So a new partner will probably be the cutscene you're looking at. Wait. No, it's not. Hold on. What the heck? Oh, that's something else. Okay. Is it this one? Okay, I don't know why that cutscene was there. You can tell how much I use Union Cross Theater mode. This is the offline version, huh? Nope, not at all. Not the offline version. Not at all. I wonder if Lucio is going to look super different from Brain / Zigbar. Do you guys think we'll ever see what, like, original Lucio look like?
I don't even think it matters.
It probably, I don't feel like it does either, to be honest, but it's just like an interesting thing to think about. Like, let's say we get a death scene with Lucio, right? It'd be a little weird if it's like, we just don't know what he originally looked like. It's just a mystery forever. What do I think of the update?
Amazing.
The update was amazing. I was, okay, this was probably one of my loudest reactions as far as Kingdom Hearts goes, the last Union crossover, because I was screaming. I was literally screaming into my microphone. That's why I had to put headphone warnings during the video. Okay, so I need to clarify something. when they take the arc, when the four of them take the arc, when Laurium, Ven, Larxene, and Brain take the arc, they are not going from the data world to the like they're not going to their select time periods. Like Laurium doesn't immediately go to Castle Oblivion, or Ven doesn't immediately go to Birth by Sleep. What actually happens is, remember what that interaction Darkness and Maleficent had, they're actually going back to the real world first. So the arc they're taking right now is just to get out of the real world. Theoretically speaking, if depending on what Brain's plan is, Brain could easily send his arc back to Daybreak Town, to the data Daybreak Town, letting Ephemer or whomever use it. That could be something that could work, like an empty pod. Theoretically, they all could do that in a way, but that means all of them wouldn't be able to go from the real world to their own select time periods. But let's say Brain did that. That would be an easy way for a character like Scold or Ephemer to end up to be able to time travel or go wherever they need to go.
Still
but
unclear what happened to Ephemer, and like it's still unclear whether or not he even goes into the future at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's very likely he doesn't, given that KH3 scene. It feels like that scene that scene didn't feel like it implied he was there somewhere, because otherwise it would have felt a little out of place to have him there. He would have probably been in the same position as other characters and would have just been left a mystery, right? But it's definitely a curious thought for sure. Scold, we do know she ends up, or we can figure she's in the modern timeline, because she has to be Subject X. She has to be. Luxor and Demix are definitely from Quadratum. I've definitely been thinking the same thing. Definitely Luxord. Or
definitely weird that we haven't
most likely
seen
for Luxord
this whole time.
They could be in the secret ending.
Legacy.
They could be in the secret ending, honestly. They
Will
really
there even
could
be a secret ending? Because like part 2 of the finale, that's part 2. It's not like it's not like this part 1 that we got like just ended things off on an actual finale note.
I know. We could still get a secret ending. We could get some credits. Secret ending after the credits. I mean, like usual KH. Or someone pointed out something to me. They could do something with the critical mode thing, which would be very bizarre. Or when the offline version releases, they release a secret ending, which would be very weird. But I mostly say that because Key Browser had a secret ending, and I feel like it'd be a little bizarre if this game didn't. Like, it's actually really rare for a KH game to not have a secret ending when you think about it. Because KH1 had one. I don't think Chain of Memories. Well, Chain of Memories didn't really have a secret ending. Chain of Memories had a post-credit scene, though, which you could say similar things if you want to generalize it. We had a post-credit scene in Chain of Memories, which revealed Roxas. KH2 obviously had a secret ending. I don't know if Days did. Did Days?
No, it didn't.
Did Days have any sort of post-credit scene?
Not really, just because
I think it's post-credit. If it did, I think it was just Roxas waking up for KH2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but we were not really going to count
the
it.
extent to 358.
We already know that. Birth by Sleep had one. Dream Drop had one. Yeah, like, you get the point. Like,
had one.
most KH games have secret endings. So it's like, it'd be weird if this game did.
Or at least post-credit endings.
Yeah, or post-credit scenes. Secret endings, post-credit. So, either or. It's very likely. But, I'm very curious about Brain's plan. I'm super curious about Brain's plan. I do think it's likely
he already has a plan in mind, so he's not going to be winging it.
Yeah, I would really love a 2D Quadrom. I think that would be pretty perfect for a secret ending, honestly. That'll be pretty perfect. Here are my routes for a secret ending. I think for a secret ending, they've already shown Strelitzia, so that takes one option out that I theorize. Strelitzia showing up in the secret ending. It seems like Strelitzia might actually show up in the next update even. But
might.
Yeah. But for secret ending options right now, I'm thinking, so Quadratum's a big one. Probably Ava being in the secret ending would make sense given this story. Like that fine being the first time we see more of Aqua like chronologically in the story. Because we have no, like, literally after Key back cover, after the events of Key back cover timeline wise, we have like almost no idea, like, or well, I'll say after she gives the book
After
to
the
Brain.
Keyblade War.
After the Keyblade War, whatever. We have no idea what happens to her. So we barely gotten any new info about Ava specifically, not her giving a book to someone or her doing exposition for some other character, just about Ava and what is she up to. We haven't gotten any new lore regarding her since Key back cover, straight up. Since the Union leaders were revealed in Union Cross in 2017, when Union Cross came from Unchained to Union Cross. That's the last time we got new lore on Ava, and that was extensions about her role. So Ava's a secret ending, is a post-credit scene thing that we could think about. Quadrum's another one. I can't think of many else at the moment.
You know what would be gas? You know what would be gas?
What?
If they added, so after the finale, they added a secret boss to Union Cross, and that leads us to Quadratum, and the secret boss is Yozora.
I mean, okay. The only reason I say the Quadratum part sounds gas, but the part that's like for me is why would they make a secret boss if they're just gonna shut down the game and we're not gonna be able to play it afterwards?
Maybe as like one final challenge, because Darkness wasn't that challenging. And if the next update is going to be just pure cutscenes like this one was, then Darkness is technically the final boss of Union Cross.
Which is fine. Like, makes sense for
which is fine,
story.
But Darkness wasn't challenging.
I mean,
we all beat him in one turn.
That's how Union Cross is, though. I don't know. It's hard to scale that. Like, I don't like when a Union Cross boss is challenging. It's just like, oh crap, I got hit. I died. All right, let me adjust my broken metal setup so I can one-shot him the second time. That's pretty much Union Cross's challenge. So I don't know. I think it doesn't matter if the secret boss is challenging or if any boss is challenging for the final boss. I think what matters more, if anything, more than how strong it is like what it is, if anything. Like the fact that what we fought was Darkness makes sense a lot for a final boss. I was expecting a final boss though. I don't know what it would have been. I was thinking like, alright, they might just do multiple forms of Darkness or something, but it seems like we might just
only
be
part
done.
One though, but there is a chance that part two will have a boss.
It seems like Ephemer, the player and Scold might have one final battle, like one final fight together, which would be pretty great. Like bringing everything back to the beginning with them three, because that's a goated trio right there, dude. The player, Ephemer, Scold, you're
really trying to establish that as a trio.
I mean, not just me. The series is doing it. Like, it's no coincidence. Those three are basically what like started a lot of this, and like as far as like stories go for Kingdom Hearts Key, with Key Browser, they continued it with Unchained Key when Ephemer and Skull took the player, took them into the dandelion so they would survive. They weren't even a dandelion originally, but they cared about their friends so much they're like, nah, we gotta bring you over here. And then on top of that, they're the last three in the Dado world. Like, come on.
Then who would we fight?
I don't know, but it's possible we fight someone. I'm not saying we will, but it's
because
likely.
Strelitzia talking to Larium in this last update, lets me realize that she's not being corrupted or anything, or she may not be twisted in any way to where she would fight any of us. So that may remove Shalaty as a possibility of being an enemy. And at the same time,
are you implying that's the real Strelitzia though? Like
the one that talked to Larium while
yeah,
he was in Ben's room?
how does that mean she's not gonna fight? How does her talking to her brother not mean she can't be corrupted or won't fight us? Because she wasn't actually there, like physically speaking.
Because if she was corrupted, then she wouldn't be talking in the sweet manner that she was talking to Larium in.
I don't fully agree with that, because I interpret that scene as like a similar thing to like Riku beating up Sora like while being corrupted by Ansem, but like he's still in there, like he doesn't want to like destroy his best friend or anything. He's still speaking to him and stuff. Like, come on, Sora, I thought you were stronger than that. Like stuff like little quotes like that. Like, I don't know. Like it's. I don't think that means she can't be a boss necessarily, or means she can't be corrupted, isn't corrupt, or anything like that. I'm not saying she is, but I don't think that disproves her as a boss is what I'm saying, if she is one in the future.
Now, I think that the person most likely to inherit the Keyblade, Lushu's Keyblade now, is, well, it's definitely either Ephemer or Brain.
I don't think Ephemer is a possibility anymore. Well,
between the two, I think it's more likely Brain, because he no longer has his Keyblade now.
I think Brain is... I think Brain's the most likely. That's exactly what I pointed out in my last video, actually. That's exactly what my last video was about. The fact that we still haven't seen Lushu recruit the Keyblade to anyone yet. And it's probably going to be Brain. And I have a weird, sneaking suspicion that Brain knows Lushu's there, and that's part of his plan. I have a weird suspicion of that, but I don't know how he would.
Well, if Ava, if he's conspiring with Ava, who's trying to go against the Master's plan, then there's a good chance that Brain does know, considering that Ava knows everything, or not everything, but as much as Lushu told her, which he implies is a good chunk of their plan.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about is a very, very big thing they kind of emphasized in this update about how all of these Keyblade wielders, when the data world, like, I don't know, goes away or whatever, or breaks, however you want to put it, like Brain's saying here, it's like a computer in sleep mode, they're just going to go to sleep. And that's very specific for KH, because that does not mean they're dead.
They're dead.
So, let's say theoretically, this world, which is pretty likely, because I don't think this world is going to be fully destroyed, a lot of the dandelions are technically around still, or can be, and all it takes is for someone to access that data to bring a lot of these characters back. So, very bizarre. That's for sure. Whoever wakes up, the people in the data world, it's gonna have an army. I feel like that's what Nomura is trying to do. I feel like this saga's going to end, or some climax of the saga is going to involve all of these Keyblade wielders being woken up, and they're going to be part of the war to fight darkness. One final Keyblade war. But the issue with that is it's kind of weird, because Darkness, from the way Darkness made it sound, Darkness was at a pretty weak point at this point in the timeline, but now, debatably, when you think about it, they're probably at the strongest they might have ever been, because, like, yeah, Sora and them, they're like helping a little bit and keeping the worlds at bay a bit. Like not all of them are being corrupted, but like when we think about the start of KH1 and even KH2 and 3, like the worlds are not what they used to be, and they're all completely separated, and the paths between, the lanes between, are just completely filled with darkness, as we learn even more about in Xehanort reports and the and Dark Road. The lanes between, if you don't have any sort of protection like Keyblade armor or a black coat, for example, something like a corridor, you are very susceptible to just being consumed. So,
I mean, Maleficent straight up told Riku that in Kingdom Hearts 1. She was like, you were reckless to show up here without using a vessel. Relying too much on the darkness like that could cost you your heart.
yeah.
And we see that like when Riku shows up to Hollow Bastion, he's like gasping for air. Like he just went through something that nearly took his life.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that the Master's plan might involve defeating darkness when they're at their peak. I wonder why. It was like, based off of what they made it sound like. I mean, even though they don't know all the locations of darkness.
Of darkness in the world, so.
Yeah, but no, did you hear what I said? Like, they're kind of like at their peak right now. Like, it seems like they're stronger than they've ever really been. Because Keyblade wielders are very few right now. Darkness has had multiple points of expansion, 5 different points of expansion. One being Ventus, and who knows where exactly the others are. Well, one is assumingly is in the real world, likely with probably following around Maleficent. That's a possibility. But like, Darkness has expanded, has like consumed, has grown a lot since Union Cross, from what it seems. So it's like, I wonder why the Master didn't want to strike it when it was at a weaker point. But maybe that just doesn't make for as interesting of a story, huh?
Well, I think the Master couldn't. I think he needed to wait for Darkness to get to that point, because at that point, Darkness would have latched onto a will, which would have made it susceptible to being killed.
Susceptible to what being killed?
Like to Darkness itself being killed, because without connecting to a host and getting their bodies and getting a will, they're untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the Master, despite the fact that he may have wanted to get rid of them for a long time, he's like, I gotta wait for them to latch onto someone, for all of them to latch onto somebody, and then once they are all put themselves in a vulnerable state, then I'll strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because maybe even though they're stronger now, they're more vulnerable. So possibly we gotta learn more specifics, but very interesting. If the people that Chirithy saw are Strelitzia and Lushu, then there is some way into and out of the data worlds that isn't the arcs. I don't think the black coat was Lushu. Got a discussion about that last night on my server. Some people were saying it might be the Master, and I can kind of see it based off of, it doesn't seem like they're even going towards the arc or the castle in that, or they're based off of where they're walking. So I wonder what the Master's doing with Strelitzia, and why the Master's even walking around Daybreak Town to begin with.
So Hillary, the first thing you had said is that there's some way to get into the data worlds without the arcs. That was talked about in the Kingdom Hearts 3 secret reports, because Lushu straight up says like, oh, they're trying to hop from one world line to another, but without any masters, that shouldn't even be possible for them. So I think there is a method that masters know of to go from one world line to the next, which is probably what Mickey is going to be investigating while at Scala at Kylum. But yeah, because without the Masters, then their only way is through the Ark. Which, now that I think about it, and I'm probably going to use this for a theory that I'm going to work on, Brain's plan could maybe involve getting a Master involved with saving them.
How would he find them?
Because maybe Ava is hiding somewhere, sticking around, and no one else knows, and only Brain knows. Or maybe, since we talked about how it's possible that he knows that Lushu is still around, he could contact Lushu and be like, "Hey, I know you're attempting to pass down your no name and continue the Master's plan. I'll cut you a deal. I'll let you pass the no name to any one of us, probably me, if you get my friends out of that data world."
That sounds very bizarre.
Hold on, I'm gonna write that down because I'm not losing that thought.
That sounds extremely bizarre.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Cutting a deal to get no name.
It's not. It's more so cutting a deal for Lushu to continue his role, while at the same time Brain is able to save his friends.
But why does he need to cut a deal to continue his role? His role is already being done, and he knows he already succeeds at his role.
Well, yes, but he still needs to do it, and that's not possible if no one accepts the no name. Even if the Book of Prophecies was written,
but
Lushu still needs to pass the no name down to somebody.
Yes, but the issue I have with that is the way you make it sound. It makes it sound like Lushu's in some desperate situation to give the no name to somebody, when I don't think that's the case. I think he can take. I think this, as long as he gives it to one of the five, likely soon or during all of this, probably not in any sort of rush. I think as long as he just gives it to one of the five, that's what matters more. So I don't know what situation he would be in where he has to cut a deal with Brain to get the no name. That's the only thing that sounds bizarre to me. But outside of that, him getting no name in general, Lushu, because we know Lushu's in the real world, so it makes sense that Brain would get it, and also since he doesn't have a Keyblade, it makes sense too. But specifically the route you said to get there, that's the part that sounds really bizarre.
So to clarify, I'm not saying that Lushu is in a desperate situation, but I'm saying that Brain is aware of Lushu's plan, and due to that, and since Larium is going to be going forward along with Ventus in the arcs, so that cuts down the Union leaders that are available to, since Ephemer and Scold are still in the data world, to only one. So it's half in a desperate situation and half of, I know what you're doing and I can help you out. I can help continue your plan.
I don't know,
because something for me.
I don't know about that though, because Lushu's account, every single one of these characters, with the exception of maybe Ephemer and the player, Lushu knows exactly where they are. Lushu knows where Ventus is. Lushu knows where Elrona ends up. Knows where Marluxia ends up. And if we're going under the assumption that Scold is Subject X, we also know that Lushu's the one who took her. So he knows where all of them are. So it's not like they disappear and he can't give no name to them.
Because they go forward in an arc, they can't get the no name. They can't, because they need, or I say Lushu and the Master need the no name to experience all of history, and they can't do that if they try and pass it to someone who's jumped forward hundreds of years in time. They can't. So literally his only possible options, just from what we know, and not knowing whether or not Ephemer or Brain goes into a pod, his only two options at this point are Ephemer and Brain. Those are his only two. And Ephemer is stuck in a data world. And Brain does have the right to refuse the Keyblade.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there, because we talked about that before, about, like, I feel like Lucio bequeathing the Keyblade to somebody is, like, I don't feel like any of them probably like either of them. They're probably very curious about exactly what they're doing and what's going on. But, like, I don't know. Like, that situation just sounds weird to me, because I can see what you're saying, because it's stuff we've agreed upon, like Ephemer and Brain being very likely to get it, because when you just do a simple process of deduction, Scold, it's very difficult for Scold to get it, because if she's subject X, what exactly does she even do with the Keyblade? Laurium, I don't know how he would even be in the position to get a Keyblade. Same with Elrena. Ventus is a slight possibility, but very unlikely. But so that would leave Brain and Ephemer. And we've had that thought even like before we saw Brain with the Master Defender. A lot of people were set on Brain and Ephemer. I've had little thoughts about Scold, but it was more so like, that would be cool if that happens. But specifically, the thing that's weird is like Lucio being in any sort of desperate situation, as if he ran out of time or something to pass it down to one of them. When I feel like if he was put into that situation, like, he wouldn't be sitting there, like, sweating or anything. He'd probably just pass it down to whoever's, like, available, since right now Lucio's pretty confident about what's about to happen, since the Master, told him. So I don't know. I think that part specifically is weird. Like, I agree with like where you end up, but the roundabout way to get there is the bizarre part. And Josh Z, thank you so much for the $10 donation. My bold prediction is that the player is disguised as Yozora. He said this is not what I really look like, and knew he was not in the real world. It's a smart way to include the player. Thoughts? I was just about to comment about the player theories, actually. There's two that I think. I actually think the player is pretty likely to get no name. Like, a lot more likely than we think. Even though it said the 5 union leaders, we also assumed the union leaders were taking the pot. With the exception of Elrena. Because we also had less pods than we thought by the end of it. And the player is pretty involved with all the union leader stuff. So it wouldn't be that far-fetched if the player got no name. That on top of the bizarre connection he seems to have with Xehanort. Like that dream at the beginning of Dark Road. Very, very weird. But the player being Yozora, I don't think is that far-fetched either. It would be really bizarre. It would also make our player super cool. But I don't think that's far-fetched either. I honestly don't. I think I could kind of see that happening. But the question would be, for how that happens, the player would probably need to make it out of this world somehow. Or break some sort of rule. Maybe the player misuses the power of waking, perhaps? In what situation would that happen, is the question. So, I think that's interesting.
John, I just thought of something.
What's up?
So instead of Brain
that
making
could be
a
what
deal with
Brain
Lucio,
does.
Which is still a possibility. Maybe when Brain gets the no name, if he does get it, he could ask Lucio, how do I go from one world line to another? Because I want to save my friends.
I definitely think Brain is going to interrogate Lucio. I 100% think that. Okay, can we all agree, regardless of what's going to happen, we're getting a Brain and Lucio interaction? Can we agree on that? Like, that is going to, whether he gets the key or not, I think that's going to happen. I don't know. Like, it kind of just has to for me. Or a Brain and the Master interaction. Either or. I think that's a super, super big possibility. But once again, thank you for the donation, Josh. I appreciate it a lot. I really like a lot of the player theories. I'm not gonna lie, a member in my server the other day, Jake, convinced me that the player is actually a pretty top tier character. I'm not gonna lie.
We were basically the only one participating in the Keyblade War that fought all 5 of the foretellers and survived. Although it's very clear that the foretellers were not trying their hardest.
Foretellers was kind of chilling. Like, there was like, so we know we die. We just kind of fighting for funsies. Or not really for funsies, but because they can't do nothing else. That's what they felt like. How do you think the foretellers are going to react to that story Lushu tells them?
Which part?
All of it. Everything they missed.
Well, let's see. As far as learning that everything was all part of the Master's plan, including the Keyblade War and Lushu having to possess people and starting another Keyblade War in order for things to happen, Aced might just view Lushu and the Master as like madmen.
I feel like Aced's the type of character to just leave. Like, alright, I'm done with y'all. he's just gonna walk out like, alright, y'all lied to me. You told me I could potentially be a leader. You lied to me. And you use us for your little game. I'm leaving. Even if it's for the greater good. I'm leaving. That's probably Aced.
I swear, those foretellers are like children.
Literally, that line Lushu said during the update when Darkness said, and you follow him, and he was like, why not? That's literally every you need a leader. That's every foreteller dude in the game.
But it's like, when Lushu talks about why not, he also states like, I know the Master has a plan for one particular goal, and I'm willing to follow that. But like the foretellers are like, oh well, the Master can't be evil. They just put blind faith in him with nothing to back it up.
Master literally like copied and pasted a whole civilization into the data world. Can we talk about that? Right, we might actually get our endgame Kingdom Hearts scene people thought was gonna happen in KH3, or wanted to happen in KH3 rather.
You know, at first when they talked about meeting the data version of all the Keyblade wielders in Data Daybreak Town, I was like, wait, hold on, but we didn't encounter any data people. And then I was like, wait a minute. Yes, we did. Any Keyblade wielders that we met prior to the timeline of events shifting from the conflict that started the Keyblade War, and it just moves on to something else, all of that was data. That was like, we even teamed up with a data ephemer in Union Cross.
Yeah. Ask your friend if he believes the people Darkness takes the form of could be the foretellers, and that it was the mom's plan all along in order to make them take a defeatable form.
Wait, hold on, let me see.
Basically asking if you think the remaining darknesses inhabit the foretellers. That's not super far-fetched, honestly, but that'd be a little messed up.
Not really far-fetched, but considering that we don't know the state of the foretellers, and it's very much implied that they disappeared or died during the Keyblade War and were revived post Kingdom Hearts 3, that is the darkness. Any darkness that latched onto them would be unable to do anything throughout those generations where they were inactive.
Someone just made an interesting comment on my video that is pretty true. We're basically talking about the like in this update potentially might spark the beginning of pure-blooded Heartless in the series. Remember, all other Heartless we see are just projections.
Well, we've already encountered pure-blooded Heartless with Darklings. But if you mean like encountering shadows for the first time that, you know, weren't projections from the Book of Prophecies, that's
because like they're saying, because Darkness here is since like at this point, Darkness right now, his plan is to just expand.
which I said Darkness was gonna do that.
In fact,
in my latest theory. I know what I'm talking about, guys.
I was telling you that for like months when you kept telling me Vanitas is the Darkness. That's the sole Darkness.
Hey, at the time, we didn't realize that Darkness was hive mind.
But like, think about the mannerisms Darkness had with Maleficent. Everyone only looked at the Ventus cutscene. They're just thinking about Ventus and thinking about that line Vanitas said. But like, everything that was going on with Maleficent, and when you even add up the timeline of events, it's like, yo, there has to be multiple Darknesses. What the heck? This thing's definitely a hive mind. But I mean, I could understand why not everyone would jump to that, but it's like, it made more sense to be a hive mind. We're talking about literal darkness, because that's how I interpreted it in general. Even when Vanitas said it, I was like, I don't think darkness is like an individual. Darkness didn't go. Maleficent, the one who was helping her, is the one in the room with Lucio now. That's darkness too. Like they're all darkness. Darkness is a hive mind. Darkness can be in multiple places at the same time. And this update confirmed that. That's one thing this update confirmed. Because we didn't know that for a fact, if darkness could be in multiple places at the same time. We just figured it based off of the timeline of events and the weird mannerisms and speech of darkness. But this update, straight up, Lucio confirmed it. And darkness didn't deconfirm it or anything. I mean, like, so.
Also, Lucio kind of a badass.
Lucio's fire. Way he teleported, man. Ooh. Alright, let's look at that cutscene. Shadow's identity. Well, that's what this cutscene's named. Interesting. I don't know who you sent, but there are 5 left. Who will they go to? You didn't read that part of the book? This part's also important. It wasn't of any interest to me. Like, Darkness doesn't know where
that Lucio witnesses the other 5 leaving.
Yeah. Darkness doesn't know where they, like, end up. So that's...
Darkness did not read through the Book of Prophecies very thoroughly. He did not.
Didn't. Darkness was just like, ooh, what are you riding here, master? And that's it. That's what happened.
Are you writing, son?
What you riding, son? Oh, I'm just riding like what happens in the future. Oh, really now? Expansion, keyword. I don't get you. Nor we you. I needed to hear Darkness's voice. Spent time grooming these wielders only to trap and leave them behind in the data world. Why?
Be right back. I'm gonna go get some water.
That's fine. Dunno. Who knows what the Master of Masters thinking? And yet you follow him? Why not? Why not, guys? Why not follow the Master? By the way, if you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button. We're at 120 viewers in the live stream. Let's get 120 likes. I want everyone in the live stream to hit that like button. It goes a long way in just recommending the stream and the channel to many people. So remember to leave a like. Alright. May not know the reasoning behind everything he does, but I can guess. But you are not certain. No. Well, I am sure of one thing. He is not a fan of darkness. I see. That we understand. We're not fond of light either. I like how Lushu just isn't intimidated by darkness, just like how the Master isn't intimidated by him. So what's your brilliant plan? To spread throughout the data world using its signals. To accompany the chosen one into the future so I can lay claim to worlds not yet created. So he knows that. So Darkness knows that Ventus is going to the future, but doesn't know where. That's bizarre. So no matter what world or time I end up in, you'll be there too, huh? I don't think so. Oh? I thought you were told not to interfere. Yeah, to help the dandelions, but I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for me. I am formless. You cannot destroy me. I know. Then why waste the effort? The longer you exist without a tangible form, the more your will fades. Darkness had form when the Master of Masters was a boy, right? You abandoned it to defeat light. That's when darkness became a whole. Hold on, so darkness abandoned that form to defeat light. So, I gotta think. So darkness used to have like just a form, a entity, but it abandoned that form so that it could defeat the light. Why does it not need to have a form to defeat light? Like, why is it just not powerful when it has a form? I'm guessing, or it's more powerful when it is formless. That's when darkness became a whole. But then you realize that you couldn't maintain your will as one or as a whole, which is why you still need a physical form. You call it infection and expansion, but you're just stealing the bodies of those with hearts. You act like it's this grandiose plan when it's actually kind of sad and pathetic. I love the Lushu roast, dude. I love this roast. And then I love the teleport, dude. The teleport? Silence. You never even figured out his real plan, did you? What? Let me ask you this. Besides you, there are 5 other shadows with individual will. I know at least one is in the data world. So there's 5 other shadows that do have individual will. Like, this one has its own sort of will. Like, they're a hive mind, but they're also like, I guess the hive, it's a hive mind with individual like traits. So it's like a half hive mind. I don't know. Yo, Jim the Grapple, thank you so much. I think if it remains formless, it allows its will to not be able to be killed. Yeah, probably. Like, it's unkillable without a form, but it also needs a form so that it can expand. Ah, so it's like a trap, right? Does that make sense, guys? Okay, tell me if this makes sense. So, darkness needs a form to expand in general. To expand, to take over worlds, it needs a form, it needs something to use to spread all of that darkness out there into the hearts. But without a form, it's kind of just stationary like this. Like, you see how this darkness, it can attack, it can hurt you, but it can't really, like, spread its darkness anywhere. Does that make sense? Does that sound like it makes sense? More like a linked mind network than a hive mind? Yeah, that makes sense. More like a linked mind network. Yep. That's interesting to think about. And welcome back, Noir. Welcome back. That's really interesting.
What?
We're talking about the specifications of darkness having a form and what it's able to do with the form without one. Without a form, darkness can't really spread its like evil or spread its corruption. But it needs a form to do so. So it's kind of like in a weird sort of like stalemate when it's in, you see my screen, when it's in like a form like this, you know? It's in like this sort of stationary position where it can't really do much, but it can like maybe influence people, like Ventus for example, but it can't really like do massive spreading and corruption like we see in the later Cage series throughout the world.
But at the same time, it's also safe from anyone who would want to try and do it harm.
Yes, so that's very interesting. That's what Luciu basically just said. So where are the other 4? Yeah, so it is 6. It is 6. It's 6 darknesses. 1 here, 1 in the Dado world, 4 others. You're well informed. Yes, 6 of us remained after the war. After which we found ourselves in the Dado world. How do you guys find yourself in the Dado world? But you return to the real world with the evil fairy. Meaning the rest are still there. Yes. Yo, Chimchi, thank you for the $10 donation. I know it ain't the topic, but I think the black box could be just a black box. like that's where the back of Data world is. And if Luciu open before they even went there, it could mess it up. Let me expand upon that. What if the box is the key to the Data world? That's what's in the box. The key to unlocking the Data world and awakening all those Keyblade wielders. That actually wouldn't be that bad. I'd be fine with that. How do you feel about that, Noir? That's how they awaken the Data world? The box is like the box is the reboot key or something.
That would definitely explain why the master told Luciu to never ever open it.
Yeah, because it's like if he opens it, everyone's dead. Like literally everyone is dead. So, oh man. Oh man, I like that. I like that. That might be a theory. That might be well, maybe not a theory. That might be a speculation video. Yeah, the box contains hope. I mean, I think hope could be, you know, reviving a whole civilization. So, I mean, does that sound like hope to you, Noir?
Why is this making more and more sense the more we're talking about
I mean, like, it kind of does, though, right?
No, Chimchi, seriously. What the...
That kind of makes sense.
Now, Chimchi, do you have a problem with me mentioning this in my next theory?
I mean...
I will shout you out, but do you have a problem with that?
I don't think that's exactly what Chimchi was saying, but like, Chimchi definitely led me towards that, because they said, I know it ain't the topic, but I think the black box could be just a black box. Like, that's where the back of the Data world is. I just see maybe meant to type backup, and if Luciu opened before they even went there, could mess it up. Yeah, okay, I see. You just typoed a bit. So yeah, that is kind of what you were saying. But that's... Ooh. Yeah, that might be the purpose of the black box, but why will Luciu react so weirdly when Mom told him what's in it? He wouldn't react like that if he said it he. I mean,
maybe we should go back to the cutscene that happened in the last update.
Think about the timeline of it, though. At that point, Lushu didn't really see any of this happening. The Keyblade War hadn't even happened yet at the point the Master told Lushu all of that. So when he says, but why make a backup of all of these people, you know? It's like, huh?
John, go back to the cutscene where Lushu and the Master are discussing what's in the box. That continuation of the scene from back cover.
Yeah, give me a sec. Well, let's finish this cutscene first. You're not the only one in my way. As you are in mine. And you are the only one in my way. Misspoke. Alright. I mess with that. I kind of mess... Okay. Honestly, there's not...
I think that's what is our plan.
There's not that many black box theories that sound that feasible. The Master's Heart sounded feasible at one point, but that was mostly... It sounded more feasible pre-KH3 than it did after. Would you agree? Like, yeah. Pre-KH3 it made a little bit more sense, but now after, it doesn't... It seems like the Master didn't even need that. And honestly, the Young Xehanort cutscene almost disproves it in a way, because it's like... the box ain't open there. He don't need no heart to come back.
My main box theories were the box contained the method for traveling from one world line to another. The box contained stupid amounts of light. I think that's pretty much it as far as my box theories go.
And his box needs to stay out of sight. Just watch with their own eyes. Oh, we know this dialogue. What's in it? It's a secret. But why? You'll see. Hate for anything to happen to you, so I will give you one little hint. I'm listening. When darkness strikes at dawn and the lifeboat departs, this world will have fulfilled its purpose. If that happens, you have to see it through to the end and take a corridor to a new world as fast as you can. The world is going to end. Haven't I told you there's no way for us to win against the darkness? That's why we needed to use the time we had to get all those Keyblade wielders ready to pass the torch to the next generation. This world exists to nurture the dandelions, our little seeds of light, so they can be sown into the future. Where they can stop the darkness, then the sun will finally set on this dustless dawn. And our plan will have to see it at last. So, if we take that literally, like if we take that super literally, it definitely fits. Like, if you take it literally, the Master almost straight up says they'll be there in the future to defeat the darkness. So, well, if the black box is the corridor to the new world.
This is some galaxy brain type stuff.
This clip's being uploaded to YouTube, by the way. This part, I just want to see what people think about. I'm not gonna call it a theory, but it's, well, I might title it as one. It's like I gotta think that
you got to title it galaxy brain moment.
That does make sense. Like, okay, honestly, not to discredit any other box, that might make the best one. That might be the box theory that makes the most sense based off what we know right now, but I might need to let it air out a little bit, because, you know, we always get into the hype of these updates and we say crazy things and forget stuff because we're in that moment. So, but it's not like we know that much about the box, so it's not like there's that much to forget about it, right? So that's why I'm like, okay, this does feel like it has some merit to it. The box is the corridor to the new world, and the new world could be Quadram or something else. I think that's a possibility, but the weird part about that is that the master claims he doesn't know that, he can't even conceive that world. He doesn't know much about it. So if he made a box with a portal to a world he knows nothing about, then what purpose does it serve? You're gonna get there and he's gonna be like, alright, so you know what I mean?
That NFL draft.
What do you say?
I said, how about that NFL draft?
I don't know. You know, I don't watch football anymore.
You heathen.
I used to. Well, I only watch playoffs and Super Bowls when I watch football. I did. Okay, I was keeping up with the Browns last season. Because I'm from Ohio, so like them actually making it to the playoffs was kind of like, yo, let's go. That's an interesting theory, but why is Maleficent one? Maleficent thinks the Book of Prophecies is in the box.
Maleficent is under the belief that if she were to get her hands on the Book of Prophecies, she could manipulate time and bring forth powers and create this future and world of her own liking.
Yep, pretty much.
Which she's an idiot for thinking that.
That's a really interesting thought, Violin, because I was thinking about a similar thought before. Like, it doesn't seem like darkness is in Quadratum, but does that mean it can't get there? Like, let's say darkness. Let's say someone like Ventus, who was corrupted, right? At the time. Let's say someone like Ventus went to Quadratum with darkness there. Could darkness then corrupt that world, or will he just cease to exist if he steps in it or something? Cause if Sora can use his Keyblade, this isn't going to be the important thing, because I'm not using the secret ending as any sort of merit, because the secret ending is very, very weird. But if Sora and Riku are able to use their Keyblades in that world, then that must mean things like light and darkness can exist there.
It's just rare to see those things, or borderline impossible to see those things.
Yeah.
In Quadratum. Although
I find the claims of that very
is
bizarre.
Implied to be taking place within a dream, and in a dream, reality is like not normal.
Yeah. I find that very bizarre, though, that like a lot of characters straight up say that Quadratum's a world without light or darkness, yet they also know nothing about the world. So why do they know enough to say those things?
I think it's because they know that reality as a whole is made up entirely from either light or darkness. But if it exists outside of our reality, then anything regarding darkness and light doesn't affect it.
Perhaps. Verum Rex has this thing called karma, though, that you see on the back of the box. I wonder what that is. It's like it's something that sounds very similar to darkness, actually. It like corrupts humans and comes from humans. And if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, let me just pull it up, actually. Verum Rex box cover. Will that do the job? Yeah, it'll do the job. Okay. So, am I on display capture? Yes, I am. Alright. So, let's zoom into this. We'll zoom out a little bit. So I've read this a bunch of times. So, let's read everything on here. That's the story of the King of Truth. Reclaim your heart. Excuse me. After a long fight, weapons have brought great benefits for humanity, but the quotation marks karma that sleeps in humans will accelerate further. In the light of the warhead in the night sky, they chose to fight while feeling the pain of their hearts. And if you, I made a video about this. If you compare this, these lines right here to that Verum Rex trailer we saw in Toy Box, it fits pretty well to what we're seeing in that trailer. Very well to what we're seeing in that trailer. Then you have little things here: a journey without a place to return, the world is to all humans to turn a page, what is eternal bond, things like that. What if his favorite snack's inside the box? That might be gas. It'd be great. But they're setting it up to be something a little bit more important, a little bit more weighty, you know? Maybe Quadratum has darkness, but they aren't as powerful in a collective? Probably. By the way, if you guys want to check out my guest in this live stream, check out my friend Noir.
Trying to fight the freaking epic raid boss. Man, he got a lot of help. I was able to get rid of most of it in one turn, so.
Okay. Alright, well, let's look at another cutscene. Let's look at the cutscene with Strelitzia. It's backup data, I think, right?
I think so.
Of the Masters of Masters is from Quadratum and stole the Nameless Star's body and put it into the black box so he could use her powers for later. Might be a stretch, but that's my other theory. I gotta reread that. The Master of Masters from Quadratum stole the Nameless Star's body and put it into the black box so he could use her powers for later. That's a pretty crazy theory. Won't lie. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I feel like they're setting up for Quadratum to be just a complete mystery. Like literally what what Luxord says. Quadratum literally just seems like a wild card in all of this. Like, it is the wild card because Union Cross, Unchained Key are extremely self-contained within our reality, it seems. But when you try to attach any of this stuff to Quadratum, you're just like, okay, so you just have no idea where they're even gonna go. You know, it's like I can't even fathom what Nomura wants to do with Quadratum. Watch Strelitzia's hand sleeve here. I don't think it was a shining white. contrary to popular Western belief, karma has nothing to do with good deeds, yield good things. Karma is the process of reincarnation till you fulfill the goal of your original incarnation. That's interesting.
That
To
definitely
point out.
ties in with the theory that we are Yozora. We were reincarnated as him.
Ew. Reincarnation in Kingdom Hearts sounds so weird to me. That's crazy that Kingdom Hearts has 3 chosen ones. Ventus, Sora, Riku. Kind of Riku. I gave up trying to figure out the Cage storyline. Now I just wait for explanation videos. I don't do explanation videos, but if my videos serve as explanation for you, that's cool. I don't know how to feel. I don't feel like I do a good job at well, I know I can. I don't like my thing is never to like sit down and like break down the lore like how Damo does, for example, because I won't say I can't do it. I've done it before on multiple occasions, but more so, my thing is rambling. I just like talking. That's just me. I just like speaking in general about Cage. Does player even have their memories from Key and Unchained? Apparently they might.
We have dreams about what we experienced in Kingdom Hearts Key, but
they remember things like Ephemera ditching them, but it's like I think it's like some of their memories were kind of ported over. No, they're okay. Everything except the Keyblade War is still there. Actually, literally everything except the specific Keyblade War is still there. But the player knows they're not a Dandelion too. But they probably just deduced that from, you know, like the convos the union leaders were having. So, I mean, the player probably knows a lot more than everyone else because they just be chilling around union leaders. I'm literally looking at this for one cutscene. This hurt me. This hurt me watching this. I mean, okay. Honestly, it would be a lot more possible for other characters to be Subject X if they didn't say the black hair thing. But the fact that they said the black hair thing makes it way more likely to be Scold. And Charlottsia didn't hang around 4 friends in a key either. So like, I mean, but hold on. That's an interesting quote there. 4 friends in a key. Because we're getting to the point. That line almost implies something specific. Like, hold on. 4 friends in a key. When we think about a key, what do you think of? Because they all have keyblades.
Think of a Keyblade?
Like, but like, when they specifically say a key, 4 friends and a key. Is it,
I think of the Master Keeper.
Think about the Master Keeper. For me, I thought about No Name. Hold on, let's pull it up here so we can not just go off of what I remember. But I'm pretty sure I didn't misquote that. I remember her saying 4 friends and a key is the subtotal of my memory, something along those lines. Yep, right here. Okay, so let's zoom in. All right, so right here, this is subject X. I had no answer to offer them. 4 friends and a key. 4 friends and a key. That is the sum total of my memory. I cannot even recall my name. I was simply called X there. So I forget where exactly they say she has black hair. Was it in the Xehanort ones, or was it somewhere else?
No, it was in the character files.
Yeah, I think it was in the character files, which is a little weird to take as confirmation, but it's like, that'd be very bizarre. But even without the black hair part, she's the only female in, like, among the union leaders. Am I thinking properly? Yeah, she is. Subject was found in the central square shortly after dawn. Female, approximately 15 years old. After 7 days observation, she spoke her first words, but could not provide a name. Subject exhibits signs of profound amnesia and displays concern about which world this is. Her words suggested she departed her home world with others. Yep. Though she could not recall the names of her erstwhile companions. All efforts to explore those memories have met with a rejection response. Okay, what makes this interesting to revisit now is the fact that we've seen who takes the Ark. And if that's Scold, that would mean Scold, based off of the memories, she takes the Ark with other people. But Scold is one of the people left behind. And if she's the only one to take that last pod, then it would just be her taking it, right? Like, she wouldn't be leaving with other people. That's bizarre. And Strelitzia dang well did not take the pod with no one else. If she took a pod. If it is Strelitzia.
Well, if Strelitzia is with Lushu, then if she is alive, which this is suggesting that she still is,
or she could be alive. She has some sort of form presence at the moment.
Well, either way, if she's with Lushu, then she's with a master who knows how to travel world lines without the need of a pod.
I would really hope that Nomura wouldn't forget about these secret reports, because he even referenced KH1 secret reports in Melody of Memory. So I would hope he doesn't forget secret reports he wrote 2 years ago. So we gotta think about Subject X. Ven, Lorium, Alrina, and Brain are the ones who take the pod. Brain has a plan to save them, save the others, and in the finale we might still see her take the pod with other people. 4 friends and a key doesn't necessarily have to tie into that specific scene where they take the pods. But when she says 4 friends and a key, she could mean No Name. She could mean Master Defender, but Master Defender at this point in the story doesn't have any significance or weight to it. Or she could mean Ventus, perhaps.
Wait, hold on. I just realized. If what I'm guessing is true, in that Lushu and or Brain use a different method to get us, Ephemer, and Scold out of the data world, that leaves an extra pod. So maybe it goes to that Strelitzia form in the white robe. And maybe she won't use it until after we leave.
I mean, if Brain still stays behind, though, it does equal 4 friends and a key, because Ephemer, the player, Brain, and Scold make up 4 people, so if she's including herself in that for some reason, but that would be very
Other
weird.
subject X's brain's heart but went into a girl's body.
Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Why?
Dude, I don't know. I want to tell you guys, I told you so when I said Strelitzia was the true dandelion, but I told you so. That's not fully confirmed. And also, you can't say I told you so to me, because you could go back to that live stream in my unlisted live stream playlist I did with Lemon, or I was speaking that
the true
a lot,
dandelion is in a blanket. Strelitzia is in a.
All right, hold on. We gotta do this. We gotta do this talk again. Okay.
I will pull up the resources.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna do it too. Hold on. Well, actually, you know, you do it. Just send it here so I can just pull it up on stream. We had this discussion before, but it's not Ventus. That's one thing I proved during, because I remember I think Limit and Noir were like, it's Ventus, but it just couldn't be Ventus. Like, based off of the timeline of events, it literally just could not be him. It didn't make any sense. And you know what is surprising? I kind of thought Ventus would have like the way that scene transitioned last update, it made it seem like Ventus could have just disappeared, but after that, but he didn't. He just got cooked. So if it's not Strelitzia, then I'm really curious about who it is.
That's the true dandelion. And then we can pull up Strelitzia later.
No, well, okay, well, actually, yeah, we can skip.
Pull her up now.
No, we can skip through the cutscene, because we know it's about to go to the cutscene on screen.
I have a screenshot.
I know, we were like right here. You can send it still, anyways.
God damn it! It didn't work. Freaking what? Why does it do that? This work gets my nerves. You know what?
So I have an important question, because I'm not fully aware of how data mining or whatever in Union Cross goes. When Roleplay takes these aren't edits. These are straight up rips, correct?
Yes.
Like, you know that 100%.
Yes, they're rips.
Okay, just to clarify. Oh, and I just skipped the cutscene.
Okay, all right. I sent a screenshot of Strelitzia in that white coat.
All right. So let's look at both of these guys. So this is the blanket. You can see towards the bottom, and this little fool right here, it has a very blanket-like structure. And you have the coat here.
The coat has sleeves. It has a hood that is reminiscent of the organization hood. It has an open bottom,
which means it could be folded into this.
But where are the sleeves?
I don't know. That's true.
That blanket looks like it's wrapped around the person. That coat looks like something you put on.
So who do you think it is?
First, and it comes down over your body.
Who do you think the true dandelion is?
Can't be Luke's sword. Ava might be a possibility. It could be Demix. Hold on. Actually, I need to check something. I really need to check something because
It's also important to note that Strelitzia was walking with that person. She wasn't being carried.
yeah. Also, not gonna lie, seeing that it kind of spooked me. Like, not even joking, it spooked me.
I wonder. Because, oh, the person in this cloak they're probably a heart without like any sort of. They might be a heart without a body or anything, like Ansem in Cage 1 or Xehanort.
But we can clearly see Strelitzia's hair and her face.
We're not completely ruling out Ava. Like, I think that's a possibility. I think it'd be weird, but I think it's a possibility. I just find it weird to say Ava's the true dandelion. That, like, it kind of makes sense because she's the leader of the dandelions, but I feel like that's also what makes it weird.
No, I don't think it could be Luke's sword. It could be Demek's possibility being if it being Ava. There's also a chance that maybe it's Yuzora.
Cause why?
No.
With the Strelitzia,
no, he's a native of Unreality.
Because with the Strelitzia thing, but seeing her walking with the Master or Lucio, whoever, or right, like, why? The question is that Strelitzia's actual body? Is her heart in that body? Is that just an empty vessel husk?
We see her features. We see some of her features.
We see the orange. And Shirthi says that too, reiterates that. That's why I was able to spot her in the first place. But
so yeah, I mean, there's clearly a face, so it's not just a heart. There's clearly a body attached.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if that is like the body, like, and the opposite? Because like,
What?
Huh?
What?
You switched around what I said. Like I was saying or leading towards the person like the person we saw Strelitzia walking with, like, or the person we saw the Master Lucio walking with, that being the body, like a husk, a vessel, with their features and stuff, like just like an empty husk, I guess you can say. But that would be very weird for sure. And
well, there's also the fact
still
that
around.
Larium encounters that in his dream, and it directly talks to him, calling him Big Brother.
Yeah,
so
in a dream sequence, which is the interesting
but it's
part.
still like the same appearance.
I know, which is what makes it weird. Don't you agree?
Yes. Mr. Skatebox says, we seen her heart float off or nobody would have formed. No, Strelitzia wouldn't have formed a nobody because she didn't become a heartless at that point. She died, and dying is not the same as becoming a heartless.
Wait, what was the reason that
can only be formed when you become a heartless?
What was the reason that Lucio gave for putting this person in the pod? They're a seed of light, a true dandelion. Like, we can go back.
The purpose of the dandelions, or especially the true dandelion, is to sow seeds of light into the future to allow light to blossom so that they can defeat darkness.
It was like just an extra thing, I guess, for some reason. Now to check on the data. Aren't you supposed to be part of the whole?
Mr. Skatebox says we don't know that. Well, we don't know that Strelitzia fully died, but we can definitely say for sure that her heart didn't become a heartless, because if she did, it would have formed at the same spot where she fell. Because Sora, when he became a Heartless, it was in the same spot. When let's see, when we saw that guy in Traverse Town become a Heartless, it was in the exact same spot. Nobody's can be formed in other places, but Heartless are formed where the heart falls.
Who the heck is this? Who is this? Maybe it's another new character. A seed of light to be sown into the future. A seed of light. So, if it's someone who... okay. Let's talk about this. I want a yes or no in the chat, and from you, Noir. Do you guys think this is someone we've already seen, that we know? Do you think this seed of light is someone we know about? That we've met in the modern timeline already. Not just in Union Cross, that we've met in, quote, Sora's timeline. Or even just after Union Cross, period. Okay.
No.
You don't think it's someone we've met?
No, I think it might be a new person.
That's crossing my mind a bit. I'm like asking myself why. the word is he be creating so many new characters for Key. It's insane. You know what? This sounds really dumb, right? It isn't entirely impossible for Kairi to be from the past.
That's what I was saying in the live stream with Limit.
It's weird, but like, I don't really want it to happen, but that body's too big to be baby Kairi, though. Well, I don't know. You can cross scaling, yeah, but we knew Kairi, quote, grew up in Radiant Garden. Kairi has a grandma there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Also put Kairi through 2 pods. Kairi's a point of interest for a lot of characters in Kingdom Hearts, to be honest. She's a Princess of Heart, and Xehanort sensed something in her, likely the Princess of Heart thing, and sent her to find people like Sora and whatnot. I don't know. But
so Gumbo
back?
had stated earlier, do you think at the current at the update she is walking, well, I mean at the current update she is walking, but in this scene she could have been knocked out by Lushu and was carried? I don't fully think so. Just because, well, one, what would be the point of even like changing her clothes or removing the robe and then wrapping her in a blanket?
I can disprove that right now.
And 2,
do we fight Ava in the Keyblade War?
Depending on your union, you do.
All right, so if we fight her in the Keyblade War at all, then that doesn't happen. Because that fight happens when
canonically
is what sparks the
Keyblade
War.
In her union. And there's also the fact that like Strelitzia is walking with Lushu, so they might be in cahoots together. So, what would be the point of knocking her out in the first place?
I mean, but if she's in the Keyblade War, then it's straight up just prompt. I'm gonna look it up. It's Master Ava Keyblade War fight. You guys can also tell me in the chat. Do you fight Ava in the Keyblade War? Because I remember you fighting Ava in the Keyblade War. I'm pretty sure you fight like almost all the foretellers.
I'm pretty sure that hold on. Because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Global's up to date. I remember Ava being in the key lore and having this like, yeah, Ava's literally right here. And that Luxu fight happens
Before.
Yeah. Cause the cutscene is called the bell that tolls for the final bout or something along those lines. There's 2 Avas in the past. Time travel, bro. Prove it. Give me confirmation of that. Because there's no because seeing her in the Keyblade War here, that's confirmation she's in the Keyblade War after the Luxu fight. So, whatever happened during that fight, Ava went along.
Pretty sure that I saw something.
I know Secret Reports made theories about that.
I think it may be from the character files that proved which union Ephemer belonged to, and in turn proved what union we belong to, or it may have been vice versa. But I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, Ephemer and Scold are canonically in the Angius union, and that makes us canonically in Ursus union.
Does it matter what union we're canonically in?
I mean, if we're talking about whether or not we fight Ava in the Keyblade War, kind of.
I guess.
Because if we're in her union, we don't fight her.
But, like, does that mean... Does us fighting her mean she's not a part of it? Because that scene I showed, you see that regardless of what union you're in.
Wait, what?
That scene I showed, you see that regardless of what union you're in. The scene where, like, the scene before you even fight all of them, where all of them show up to the final battle, you see that, like, regardless of what union you're in. And Ava was acting strange in the war cutscene. She was, like, super depressed and just didn't care.
She seemed more or less kind of eager or, like, ready to fight a Keyblade wielder, which, according to what we know from other people, she would never do that.
You know what interesting question? Does Luxu have to perform the Keyblade ceremony to bequeath it to one of them?
I don't think so.
Could you guys do it, like, without interacting with them at all? Just
he might just hand it off.
Like a plant, like one of them just ends up summoning it, and they hear like a voice in their head or something. I don't know. Do we even know who the traitor is? Nah. Traitor was a ruse.
I don't think it was.
I know, I'm kind of joking. If you use that, your plan's as good as ruined. Why did Darkness say that again? I didn't get a good look at the book, though, so.
Because Luxu is supposed to experience all of history with the no-name Keyblade, but if he jumps forward in time, he can't do that.
No, you only have to bequeath the Keyblade with the ceremony to people who are not originally Keyblade wielders. That's an interesting point. It said you only have to bequeath the Keyblade with the ceremony to people who aren't Keyblade wielders.
Because if Sora inherited the Keyblade from Xehanort, then that kind of proves that you don't have to go through that whole in your hand take this key or whatever. The master just needs to sort of hand it off to you.
I don't like the Keyblade ceremony anyways. I think that's one of the few dumb plot points in Cage. I don't like the way it works. Or like the fact that like Kairi got a Keyblade from touching Aqua on accident is dumb. To me. It ended up being cool, and I like that Kairi has a Keyblade, but like logically it takes away the weight from the Keyblade ceremony if I could just accidentally touch a Keyblade wielder's hand. I haven't accidentally just like touched their hand while they're grasping the key. Sora didn't go through that ceremony either with Ven. You know, you're kind of right. One of Lushu's first vessels is one of the like union leaders, and and one of them inherits No Name that sort of way. But that'd be weird too. But I mean, it's not that confusing. Thought Kairi got her Kilo from Riku and Cage too. No, Kairi got. Oh, I think you're joking because of the email. But Kairi got her Keyblade from freaking Aqua in Birth by Sleep, which was so bizarre. I don't like that scene with Riku and Cage too either. I think that scene's also kind of dumb. Why did Riku hand her Keyblade? I don't make no type of sense. I mean, I don't know. I guess Demix is the true dandelion, and I'm gonna start saying that until it happens. Demix is the true dandelion. Keyless can also choose its wielder. Yeah. But I think they clarified on multiple instances that Lushu's the one who passes it down, so I don't know. Like that he has to be the one to do it. By the way, guys, if you like discussions like these, join our Discord server. Our Discord's pretty rad. We got like almost 2,000 people in there. What's the number exactly? Let me get the exact number for people in there. We have we have 1,932 members in the Discord. A little off from 2,000. Join the Discord. Get us to 2,000 members. Maybe the true Dandelion is Braig and Lushu sends him forward in time to possess later. Maybe. I don't know. Like I'm very off-put by the true Dandelion thing. If it does end up being Strelitzia anyways, I'm gonna be mad at these conversations. Not actually. I'm gonna look back and be like, okay, why did I even second guess myself? I want to know why Darkness took Ava's shape when he instructed Ventus to kill Strelitzia, to trick Ventus.
It was to implant false memories.
Yeah, to trick Ventus into thinking he was an actual Union leader when he wasn't. The true Dandelion. I don't know. If it's not Strelitzia or Ava, I got no clue. So Darkness met Ava. Darkness probably knows of Ava, I'd imagine. Just like how Darkness knows of the Master and Lushu. Maybe Darkness did the same for Ava in the fight. Darkness didn't arrive in the real world though until, well, that's weird actually. Nah, I don't know. It's not related to the update, but why is there a Mickey emblem in the scene where Master of Masters and Lushu talk with the big screens? Feels slightly out of place in my opinion, because it's a Disney game. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a Disney game. That's what I'm gonna sum it up to. I don't know, maybe the Seed of Light is Xehanort. Who knows? Never mind. That's
I would definitely have a problem
be
with
funny.
that.
You would have a problem with that? I know, you want Xehanort to like never be mentioned again, right?
Like I just feel like the Moras talked about how we are supposed to be done with Xehanort. And
I don't really care as long as they tell a good story out of it. I mean, I don't want him to be a main villain again, but I don't think like Xehanort's gonna be that, so I'm not really too worried. I think he's just gonna be used for like lore dumps. You're leaning towards Xehanort. I mean, who knows? That'd be a crazy plot twist, right? Xehanort, the true dandelion, crazy. When they sent Kairi in the Ark in Melody of Memory, it was as if she was hope and a seed of light. No, possibly foreshadowing to say that it could have been an ancestor of Kairi. Possibly. I mean, if it's Kairi's grandma, maybe. You know, I mean, if they did want to make the other Dark Road characters important, which they probably are, like the other people Xehanort hangs out with, then, I mean, they could do that. Let me look at the description for the Dark Road characters again. Let's just check that. They all have descriptions, right? From what I remember.
pretty sure they do.
Where are they at, though? Square Enix actually never updates the English sites. Like, it still says spring 2020 for Dark Road here. Like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay. Square.
Well, Square Enix North America is just not reliable nowadays.
Okay. There is another site here, though. I think that was the old site. I'm tripping. Alright. Let's go. These are their characters. Vor is one of Xehanort's classmates. Hold on. Excuse me. Vor is one of Xehanort's classmates and a fellow Keylooter. Though blessed with tremendous magical potential, she shies away. Yeah, she shies away from battle and has yet to showcase her true power. Although she brightens the mood with her relaxed and cheerful nature. Don't underestimate her. She's much stronger than she seems. Bragi is one of Xehanort's classmates and a fellow Keylooter. Often asks Xehanort for his opinion on various matters, whether out of respect or to gauge his intent. Though he acts aloof, he can't always hide his passion and enthusiasm. We got Erd. Erd is one of Xehanort's classmates and a fellow Keyblade wielder. She's prudent, cool-headed, and a natural with the Keyblade. She has great instincts and is relied on by others. Then we have Hermod. Hermod is one of Xehanort's classmates and a fellow Keyblade wielder. He may seem like a soft-spoken and gentle model student, but when angered, watch out. He plays the role of big brother as he looks out for and takes care of everyone. And then Master Odin, a sage man, his wide-brimmed that obscures his features, exposing only a single piercing eye. Not a lot is known about him yet, which probably means he's important. Well, it definitely means he's important. I like how they say sage man. Oh, true dandelion is Odin. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I gotta learn more about him to know how I feel about that. Do you think they could have split the ending in two because they potentially need to create a quadratum scene? I think they split the ending in two because this update seems pretty long. I don't know if the next one's going to be as long as this one, but this
update was definitely really big.
This was like 20 minutes of cutscenes, or I think like more, so close to 20 minutes or more of cutscenes. I'm still thinking about the true dandelion. My brain is like gone. All right, let's discuss something else. What's another topic I was thinking about off of this? Oh, we have to talk about what ephemer wielding Master Defender now means. So this means somehow, some way, assuming he keeps it, ephemer ends up like leading the world to Quadratum, to Scala Kylum. Yeah, how it gets to Ericus is a very curious question. I refuse to believe this is the final resting place for our player character. My hope is that there will be a multiplayer online PH game in the future where our character resurfaces. I don't know, our character might stay alive, to be honest with you. They actually had me thinking the player was about to take the arc for a minute. That would have been wild. Lorium got cooked here, bro. Do I think that the Scala and Dark Road still the data world? Probably not. Because they're traveling to other worlds and stuff, but, I mean, I guess those could be data worlds too, right? But I doubt it.
Did I change my outfit up for the finale?
No, I just thought about it.
What?
The dandelions, at least a lot of them end up in Scala, like, make it out, cause like they have
to see the power for all Keyblade wielders and all that.
They have a whole, yeah, they have a whole Keyblade society in Scala. So like, I don't know, I unless like the gap between Union Cross and Scarlet Column is way bigger than I thought, but I feel like they're going to kill off the player because I don't see how the story would make sense with the player alive. The rest of the story. I mean, even though the player is someone we can customize, the player has their own character in the game. It's not like, even though we customize the way they look, they have their own character in the story. There's a friend of Ephemer Scold. A very, very loyal friend. I'm skipping through just to get to the part about where Ericus. Oh my gosh, my brain.
Did you really just call him Ericus?
Where Brain, yeah, because I was just thinking about Master Defender. Where Brain gives Master Defender to Ephemer. Apologies about Maleficent. The pot in the center of the room is just destroyed. Yep. Literally every Cage fan, when they saw this scene, just screamed when Brain was like, "Here, take this." Maybe Brain already has the Keyblade. And that's why he gave it to Ephemer. We ever think about that?
I did not.
I don't know why they wouldn't show that scene, but I mean, I guess to keep it as a surprise.
Also, there's probably something special about that Keyblade we're going to learn later, which is probably going to help things make more sense as to why the Master Keeper chose Sora when Aqua fell to darkness and didn't have her Keyblade.
Maybe.
That Keyblade straight up chose Sora.
This group, this squad, Scold, Ephemer, and the player, they're goated. So good. I can see 3 ways they could take player. 1, he dies. 2, he is someone we already know. 3, he is still with Ephemer and Unchained. Wait, what? I don't understand that third one at all. Is it possible that the player's heart goes to Xehanort? Yeah. Maybe Brain already knows about Quadram, so he said, screw it, I don't need a Keyblade anymore. Maybe. Yeah, Ephemer probably is going to turn Daybreak Town into Scala or something. I mean, that'd be kind of crazy. The Keyblade, like, Ephemer just builds Scala in like an instant with the Keyblade. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I wonder if Ericus knows where the Book of Prophecies is.
He might.
But we know that Daybreak Town still exists in Cage 3, but it's submerged underwater. So I'm not sure how that plays into things. Well, actually, they confirm, I believe, in the Ultimanias, from what I remember reading, that Scala at Kylum was built on top of the ruins of Daybreak Town. So that is a thing.
I mean, that's why the Daybreak Town ruins are underneath Scala and Kylum, and in Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, when we're trying to save Kairi, and we go to that mural that basically shows the story of Daybreak Town. It shows Daybreak Town, then it breaking, and then it just flips over to become Scala and Kylum.
Yeah. Yep. I think that was them trying to clarify that.
Hey John,
What's up?
remember that April Fool's Union Cross update thing?
Don't remind me. We need the next game announcement. Sure do. The next thing is gonna be fire.
Probably gonna be at E3 this year.
Yeah. Yo, guys, we're like 17 likes away from 100. Let's get to 100 likes. If everyone in the stream right now hit that like button, then we'll very easily be at 100 likes. Maybe over, because I know some of you guys be lurking.
The faster you hit that like button, the faster the next Kingdom Hearts game will come out.
I mean,
That should be enough.
I didn't say that, but he did. So, I mean, if you want to listen to him, go ahead. Also, additionally, I would like you guys to subscribe to my guest in today's live stream. Make sure you guys check out my friend, Noir Little Bomber. Make some very interesting theories in the Cage community. Go ahead and click that link right there, or you can type !Noir in the chat, and you will get his link quick and snappy like that. He did a very big project called Project Reconnect about a Kyrie game, hour long. So if you guys want to check that out, then feel free to. I'm sure you guys will enjoy that, you Kyrie fans out there. I don't know, I just felt like turning on Dark Road. Yo, and there we go. Just like that, 100 likes. Why do I have a download for Dark Road? Yo, thank you guys a lot. I appreciate it.
I always wondered who is the one in the cloak at the title art of Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. It's probably just Lucio.
Dark Road's like mid. I was actually playing this game. I had this game open like every day for like months. But I mean, there's just no point, because it's like you're literally the whole game. They don't really release content like that. I was hoping for more worlds and whatnot, but literally the whole game is just this. You're just sitting here like.
What's the plant the guy in the coat was holding? It's called a bleeding heart vine. There is some symbolism attached to it. Typically, that plant is used to signify the untimely death of someone, namely a young girl.
What was that?
What?
That was my BlueStacks breaking. I don't know if anyone on stream heard that. My game broke. That was funny. That was kind of funny. Aether and Luminaire are the true dandelions. Yo, Genshin? That's crazy. I'm thinking about switching over to a Genshin stream in a minute, actually. I'm hard thinking about it. Genshin X Union crossover period. Also, person you guys have been seeing typing in the chat quite frequently. Violin Gamer. This man is absolutely insane at just about everything to do with Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 1. I'm going to be doing an interview video with them soon, similar to the video you guys saw that I did with George about both the Xion Days remake cutscene they did and the Verum Rex fan-made trailer. So if you guys want, please go ahead and check out their channel. They just recently hit 1,000 subs, just recently hit Twitch partner, and just recently hit YouTube partnership as well, part of the YouTube partner program now. So Violin's been eating. Violin's been like getting success after success after success. So please go ahead and subscribe to them. Check them out. They stream on Twitch primarily. That's their main content that they do. So probably follow their Twitch channel as well. But yeah, go ahead and check them out. You'll be seeing them on the channel pretty soon. Oh, there we go. Is it known that Aether and Luminaire are video game players? So yes, they might have played Cage. They might have. Alright. Do you have any more theories or weird thoughts you got, Noir?
Not at the moment.
Alright. Okay. So, for the remainder of the stream, for about 10 minutes, until I am done with setting this up. Let me think. Give me like 1 minute to think about what I want to do for the next hour or two of my life. I already have a video prepped for tomorrow. Well, I'm not done with it, but it's prepped, meaning it's like almost done. I haven't grinded on Genshin yet today. And okay, I know what I want to do. Got it. Alright, so for the next like 10 minutes, feel free to ask me any questions you guys want. Like if it's a theory, if it's anything for me, Noir, just feel free to ask and we will do our best to interact. Right now, I am just messing around with stuff on YouTube, setting something up. Because I'm about to test out this live redirect feature on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? This might be a perfect time to test out this feature. Just so I could separate my streams. Because if this actually does work, I'm going to do it a lot more frequently.
Mary Scary says, what if the other toy box... Wait, hold on. What if in the other toy box, Kingdom Hearts is a video game just like Verum Rex in the side of Toy Story we visited? I actually think that it's possible. I will say that is possible. I'm thinking that that maybe Toy Box was originally from the world of Unreality, but when they switched over to this reality, some things changed for them, and like Kingdom Hearts became replaced with Verum Rex, and Sora became replaced with Yozora.
Have you watched the Master of Master Stereo video? I have not watched it. I've been meaning to watch it. Like every time I look at it on my recommended page, I've been like wanting to click on it, but I just haven't yet. I just haven't sat down and done it. I thought about watching it on stream one day, but I just didn't do it. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna watch it on my own time. I haven't touched the Diona Prize event yet. I'm working on Spiral Abyss now. Floor 12 2. Wow. I can't even get past floor 12 1. They literally, Warpaint made Spiral Abyss 1. Hold on, let me get off of this. We can just go to my desktop. They literally made floor 1 for I'm tripping. They made floor 12 room 1 like the exact thing the new domain is, and it's kind of hilarious. I don't know why it took me like 50 tries to say that.
Linking Yellow says, why is the arc still there and broken after the true Dandelion is sent to the future? Because that broken arc is not the one in the real world. It's the one in the data world. So it's kind of a separate arc.
Do I have to schedule this other stream? That's really weird. Nah, I just want to see if this works. I just want to see if it works. Alright, so we're going to do that real fast. Okay. Everyone, this is where we part ways. Not really. I'm actually about to just switch over to another live stream. So if you guys, I must have tested out this live redirect feature on YouTube, which is a really bootleg host feature. YouTube, do better, please. where I don't know, where I'm just switching live streams, so like I don't have to. When people look at the archive of this stream, they don't see me changing the title to Genshin and like how do I describe it? Okay, when I stream like Genshin and stuff, I want to change the title and the thumbnail so people who click on the stream know like, okay, you're playing Genshin. But what that does is it ruins the archive of the rest of the K8 stream we just had. So when I end off that stream, it's going to be seen as a Genshin stream, not a K8 stream, just because I streamed Genshin for 30 minutes. So what I'm about to do is this live redirect thing, which hopefully is way better. So we're about to do that. And I don't know how this works, so I'm experiencing new things here. But if it doesn't work like normal, then you're just going to see me live again in like 3 minutes. So we're going to test that out. Anyways, peace.